Hello there once again. I'm Jiggly. I don't know. I keep forgetting how I have all this stuff set up, so then it's like it's a struggle every time I do it. I was going to do this very quickly after the game, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna wait for the oh god. As I said, okay. Now I think I have the mic in front of me now. Wait, hold on. Things have been moved now. Okay, I've moved things again. Okay, so the thing is that I was going to do this right after the game, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait for the press conference because there's always the press conference that's streamed on Twitter after each game, and there wasn't one this time, and I'm so annoyed by that because I mean, I guess it may be because it only happens at Soldier Field, but even then, that doesn't make sense to me. Whatever, it should. It should be done a different way. Things have to be different. I don't care. Whatever. The Fire won, guys. They won. It's 2-0 victory on the road. I don't understand what happened either, but you know, this is a journey and a learning process for everyone. The fact that, you know, the Fire have won a single game on the road, specifically the Fire. Look, if you're new to this team, you should know that this is not a normal thing that happens. So yeah, the Fire have won a game. Now that I'm looking at the XG, wow, and all these other stats here, I'm so confused about how the Fire actually won this game. But I watched it, I saw it, and I have a few things to note about stuff. I actually do have actual notes again this time around because I wasn't at the game, so I actually was able to set up notes. So I do have some pregame notes, which I'm gonna give you guys the telestrator room here now so you can see the lineup, because obviously these notes are about the lineup. We have the same exact lineup as the last two games. I don't think that that's a good idea. Then the other thing I wanted to mention is Shabishko needs to stay up. That was the big thing that I wanted to talk about before the game, and I'm going to talk about it after the game too, because he kind of did it, but he still seems so out of place on this team. It doesn't feel like he can't be a lone striker. That's the issue. He can't be a lone striker. But he is staying up, and so that's interesting. But that was what I said before the game. Shabishko needs to stay up. The fact that we hadn't scored until just now was less about like the service from the wingers and more about like there's no target in the box. There's no target in the box. And also it was just a bit snowy in it. They had to clear off some snow from the pitch. It wasn't like I believe the RSL New England game was continuing to snow. And I think RSL won that game. I'd have to check. But I think RSL actually won that game. So that's just funny to me. There's also, oh man, I just clicked on the wrong thing here. I'm going on to the other side so that you don't see me struggling to look things up. But yeah, RSL beat New England, which is surprising. They won 3-2. And I think New England is actually undefeated on the season so far. I'm actually going to put this up. Let's just see. We also like undefeated. Okay. Because that's a draw and a win, and they've just got another win. So yeah, great for them, guys. You know, solid work from everybody over there. Anyway, so we have our telestrator, pull it up. We have a few things. There we go. Let me just make sure that there's no audio then. Great. And now we check this out because so some stuff in the first half. I'm gonna see what it does for the first half. What it do for the first half. Yep, they're definitely kicking off now. Great. Okay, it skips to 14th-ish minute. So I slacked off on notes at some point in the game because I just didn't see anything to say, especially early on in the game. I think oh god, I forgot what my exact joke was, but it was something like, you know, a ball is being kicked, but there's nothing happening. I don't know if they're actually playing soccer. What was this? I gotta find the quote now, damn it. I feel like it's probably the funniest thing I've ever said involving soccer. What was it? I think they're playing soccer out there. There's a ball, it's moving around, people are kicking it, but I'm not sure if they're playing soccer because I'm not seeing anything happen. And that was what it was for the early going. At the 7th minute, around there, like the score bug stopped working, so I couldn't tell what minute it was, so I just have a question mark there early on. Yeah, I said in the 3rd minute, Casper was staying up, and it still looks like a lot of these teams are out here trying to play a very, very overly aggressive game against Shaqiri. So that's very unfortunate. Back in. I had to cut a few things. Okay, so yeah. Shabishko is staying up. They're still trying to attack Shaqiri. But let's just see what happens here. Here we go. What was this one? Oh, there's 2 quick things here. Oh, this is a thing that I need to pull up in a different way now. Okay, hold on. I need to add in a new... Let me just zoom out really quick. Send this over to this side here. And I have to add in a different video layer because I need to pull this up. Because I need to pull this up. I need to add in a different video layer. Hold on, let me just send this back to home while I pull this up. Man, I have to do a lot of cutting in this one. I hate it. I've given myself more work to do. I don't like doing that. Especially not in a video like this. Anyway, I've added this because it's important to see this. Let's move it over here. Here we go. So this is right before that play. We're going to get to that. But this is right before the play that it's showing off. And I just want to give you guys this look here because it's very important to my arguments later into this video about Gaston. So I didn't see this live. I didn't know, or at least I didn't notice this live, but somebody posted this later. I think it was Taylor Twellman, actually. There was a bunch of people who like started spreading this around. But okay, let's pull up the... There we go. Here's Gaston. Here's Gaston. Our lovely lad. He just kicks her straight at the guy. I don't know what the point of that was. He just goes, who's he trying to pass to here? Is he trying to meg him? Is he trying to meg him? Because that seems like a stupid idea this early in the game and in this position where he's got an advantage right here. He's got 2 guys he can work with over here. In fact, even a 3rd guy. And your guys are all a bit too far away to do anything about it if that happens. And well, look at what happens. He gets that taken away. And as you see, instantly, these 2 guys are ready. Not enough time. He's not moving. And then, of course, we're going to have Gaston just sort of stand there. Let's do my thing again. Well, the camera's going to move, so I can't do my thing again of drawing a circle and then watching Gaston stay in the circle. But, man, he just sort of jogs away as this develops. You know, if he runs back, he can cover this. Look. He's looking for a pass. He's coming in here. He has the ability to at least cut through, make this difficult. He's got time to spare to cut through and do something, and he doesn't. And he continues to slowly track back, just jogging. It's the 14th fucking minute. Why are you tired? What's going on here? And then obviously this, a wonderful point blank header save, I mean, and then Chihos clears that away. So that's what we're working with here in this game. That's what's coming up here. I've already gone through it. It was a good save. I liked the save. That was a good save. But man, Gaston has just shown to be completely lazy. And so yeah, you see him again here. He's just over here, just jogging. Doesn't care. And then you've got Amsberg trying to figure out what he's supposed to be doing now, since he's got to cover for two guys at this point because Gaston's not coming back and Pineda's too far forward to come back quick enough. Just trashy stuff from Gaston. And of course, you know, there's been a thing going around about how like Gaga hasn't done any, you know, big boy saves, and this is certainly a big boy save. There's also a thing early on, earlier in the minute, Casper almost swipes one from Bill Hamid, so that was fun. Then there's also just after this, man, where is it? Okay, cool. I think it's here. Yeah, it is here. Just after this, where we're going to have a quick chance from Pineda, but I mean, here's the question here that I want to talk about, which is our midfield is made up of two guys, our midfield that we're expecting to come up, help and facilitate the attack, especially since, you know, Shaqiri doesn't like staying centrally. We're going to check later if he does stay central or not. But this is a thing that I wanted to mention about how we have two midfielders that are defenders. They are used to playing as defensive midfielders. They're not used to coming up into attack, although I do remember hearing about how Pineda used to play striker because he was tall in the academy. But I don't think he has like that sort of like attacking mentality, you know? I don't think he has that ability, and you don't want to shove somebody like that out there, especially if you want to win games. If you want him to learn, I guess, but if you want a player to learn, send him into the developmental league. Don't just throw him out there and say like, cool, learn this new position. But we have Gaston, who technically has played at the 10 in the preseason, and I hated it every single second of it. And then we've got Pineda, who was playing at center back for the past 2 years. I don't think that's a good switch over for having him suddenly now being an attacking player. Fede Navarro, he's a good holding midfielder. I want him out there. The second midfielder, if only we had kept like Luca or Medran instead of Gaston, but whatever. Also, I just want to mention that I made a bet with my dad that if the Fire scored a goal in the first half, I would drink a hazy pitch in the second half, and I did. But right now, that has been long finished. I'm now drinking hot chocolate because, you know, that's just what I do at this point. Anyway, we're gonna watch and go into this play here. See, we got a nice cutback. Who is it over here? Yeah, is that Shabishko? So yeah, quick thing. This guy here is our striker. Who's here then? Who is in this area? We have our left winger. Our left winger is in the center of the park. Our striker is over here. This is our central midfielder. Like, our holding central midfielder, like, defensive central midfielder. I can't tell who this is up here. What is going on here? This is not a good thing. I don't think that we should be happy about this situation. I don't think anybody should be pleased with this situation. Let's just wipe this out now. And watch the rest of the play. He sends him through. And this is great, because it gets through, and he now has all of the space here to work with. And it's going to go great. The problem is that he's a defensive midfielder, and he can't, shoot the ball up close. Like, that is a very specific skill set that is good for strikers, that our attacking players develop. A holding midfielder like him, or how he's played center back, he is good on the back post with a header, with like a quick volley at the back post. he's not going to be able to make these one-on-one situations happen. I mean, yes, it's a good save by Hamid, but man, that's a situation. If you have any other attacking player in that situation, they're going to score on that. So I'm not going to fault Pineda for that. This isn't like, you know, the Miami game where I was drilling Ivanov for the way he was playing, because Ivanov is an attacking player. Pineda isn't. He's being forced to play in a more attacking role. This is on, you know, Heights, or, I mean, I'd say Ezra, but the thing is that it's on Heights to get the players, and this just isn't the right amount of players. This is the right type of players available for this situation. So, you know, whatever. Then we have, let's see. Herbers is going to try one from downtown. Right after that, Hamid bobbles it, but whatever. They're going to keep showing that replay, aren't they? Momentum did shift towards the Fire around the 21st minute. Oh, they're going to show. Quick rip from Herbers. He bobbles it. You know, it's something. It's something, I guess. Momentum did shift to the Fire, but like the way, especially at this specific point, it seems like the Fire are cursed. Let's just see how this goes. I don't think that this was an important shot. I distinctly do not remember this. Yeah, this is nothing. That's a whole lot of nothing right there. We got 21st minute. Yep. Another whole lot of nothing. We got a yellow card here. Andy Nahar. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to mention that I didn't put in my notes, that but I did mention during halftime to somebody. I say somebody, it's my dad. But they pulled out the cards pretty early in this game, and you know, usually you expect, you know, seeing all these players getting booked near the start of the second half. Like that's when cards usually start coming out. Instead, like, it started really quickly, and there were a flurry of cards deeper into the first half, early in middle of the first half. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, but there were some cards in the first half, which you usually don't see very much of those. And then 24th minute. Oh, this is the one. This is the one where it felt cursed. You got Shihos coming up for this one. I don't know if I needed a new drawing layer for this, but you got Shihos coming up for this one. Hits it. Gets a lucky bounce. And as he's coming down, the ball, lucky bounce, it goes right to his foot. He just needs to get it there. And he does. He hits it just barely, and it gets saved. Like that's a thing where you're just like, oh man. We could have had a goal, and then it just didn't happen. So close. I believe, I don't know if it's going to show off 28th minute chance here from DC, but it's either that or it's going to be the goal up next. 28th minute. Okay, cool. It is going to show it. So this is something important that I wanted to talk about. Sekulic has not done too well recently. Also, oh god, what a terrible giveaway from Ivanov in his own end. Anyway, Sekulic just kind of gets like overrun here. And here's just to show the quality of Gaga. You're gonna see this ball is moving this way. Usually a striker is gonna have like their momentum carried that way, but at the same time, a striker knows that, so they're gonna try to hit it over here. Gaga does not move. He does not flinch when that ball is shot. He reads where it's going, because he also understands these guys are there. Unless they fail horribly, this is getting stopped if it's this way. So he's looking to see where the ball is. He finds the ball, falls on it, great save. Like that isn't like, you know, big boy save like earlier, but it is good read by a goalkeeper. Like that is what you want to see out of this guy. Anyway, oh god, so this is what you're about to see is possibly one of the greatest touches I've seen by a Fire player in the past half decade. A massive hit we're gonna start this up, and I'm gonna move this over so I can make sure to try to get all of this in. Header doesn't work out. We got, what's this, Gaston? So yeah, Gaston just kind of like punts it up there. Not really doing much with it. And it's also a horrible ball to try to get to. Look at this. It is behind him. There, he's got two defenders on him. This is Fabian Herbers. This is Fabian Herbers about to make this touch. Oh, God. Brings it down perfectly. Just look at this. The exact way that you want somebody to bring that ball down. And suddenly, like, look at this. If he doesn't get this right, that ball either goes off this. Okay, I didn't use my... Nah. Let's move up. Let's move this up. This ball, if he doesn't get it in a perfect way, the ball dribbles over here. It goes over here. You know, it might even just like stop in place. Instead, he gets it perfectly to Shaqiri. All eyes are now on Shaqiri. This guy, look. This guy's looking at him. This guy's looking at him. This guy's running at him. And then we've got Ivanov wide open over here. It's a perfect spot. And he's finally noticed. When does he notice? Yeah, he gives a little check back and realizes he's got all this open space behind him. He doesn't have a chance to come back at him. Center forward. We're going to see here just the slightest of deflections here. I think that specific deflection makes this goal happen because it gives Ivanov an opportunity to just tap that over, balls in the net. If this deflection doesn't happen, I'm not quite sure if Ivanov has the technical ability, especially after what we saw in the Miami game, if he has the technical ability to actually chip the ball over. But this time, he gets it over because he has that extra, wild card of a bouncing ball. So I think that, you know what? He did a good job here. He's done what he's could. And yay, he's got a goal finally. I apologize for any weird mouth sounds. But yeah, it's a goal. It's great. And as I said, I don't think that this goal is made without that deflection, which you can call that, I don't know what you can call it, but I mean, you can say that, oh, then that means that, like, Shaqiri wasn't able to make that goal. Herbers wasn't involved with that. It was just luck. But you have to be able to have, as I said, all of these players are looking at Shaqiri. They are going in for Shaqiri. If this guy doesn't take this touch over, he isn't like struggling to backtrack. That is the whole like Sam Kerr, that fear factor of a striker or an attacker that just sucks all of the defenders to them because they are good enough that they are worried about them. So yeah, I mean that's exactly what you want out of a guy like Shaqiri, out of an attacker that makes other teams scared, And then I don't remember this. What's this? What happens here? Is this another yellow card? Oh no, it's a header. That didn't actually happen. Yep, well over. Whatever. 43rd minute. Okay, I didn't have this. Oh man, they did not show the goal that was called offside. So, oh, yeah, no, that wasn't it. So there was a goal for DC, but it was called offside. All I have in my notes is it didn't look offside to me, but apparently it was off of the first cross on that play. Gaga made a save, but then didn't hold on to the ball. And then another player, I think it was Ola Kamara, got up and tried finishing the play. I didn't see an offside. I think that's I was, as I said, I was told that it was on the first cross, which I wasn't sure about that. I didn't see that. I'd need to go back, and I said I was going to go back, and I was hoping it'd go back in this, but apparently it's not up. So whatever. From what I saw, I'm not sure, but even the DC United announcers apparently agreed that it should have been called back. So I'll take their word for it, since they're the hometown announcers for them. And then, oh yeah, just before halftime, are they going to show the play just before halftime? Yeah, yellow card from Gaston. I just want to show this one because it's Gaston. Just look at this. He just throws him down. I was very annoyed by that. Anyway, we're going to have a quick counterattack now. It's going to be a 3-on-1 breakaway. Or at least it looked to me like a 3-on-1. It looks like it was a 3-on-2. Okay. So here's the problem. This is Ivanov in the center. Oh, no, wait. I cannot tell who it is who has this ball here. So it was Herbers. Okay. So here's the thing. In this situation, I mean, I'm gonna kind of talk about it like it's hockey too. But in this situation, it is a 3-on-2 breakaway. You have a goalie all the way back here. You have two defenders looking at you. You have your entire forward line. Let's just talk about it like it's hockey, because that's essentially what it's boiled down to. This is a breakaway chance. You have a guy here. You can try to send this through, or you can try to send it this way. But he's going to get he's going to get closed down. It looks like he's so much closer. Or this guy, he's turned around. You send it through this way, get it to Ivanov again. Not only is this a better choice in terms of just like, in terms of just space against this defender here, because this defender is going to have a whole lot more space to cover here than this defender is going to have to cover here. Let me just go. Yeah, this guy has less space to cover to get there than this guy does to get here. But instead, let me just wipe this all off now. Instead, what we have here is he goes here, which, fair, I guess. As I said, he's got space too. This is a 3-on-2 breakaway. There are better decisions to make, but there's no wrong decision other than to keep the ball yourself, especially when you're getting covered by two guys at once. There's no wrong decision when it comes to passing in a 3-2 breakaway, especially when you've got these guys stacked up right here. This is like such a narrow space. I mean, that's DC United having a problem with defending there. He rolls it over there too. That's a slow pass, you know. Herbers had a great moment earlier. That's just a roller of a pass. And then we've got Shabishko. That is a great save by Hamid. I'm not going to trash anything about the way that Shabishko took that shot. I'm also not going to take anything away from Hamid and the way he saved that. But at the same time, I feel like you go here, like just send the ball over here somewhere, just this spot. And that is a much higher chance for a goal. Even if Hamid comes out to try to clear that line, if Shabishko keeps his run here, if he's got the ball over here and Shabishko keeps his run, these guys don't really have too much of a chance to recover there. You can have this guy go over there, try to cover him, and this guy try to come up and cover Ivanov. And even then you're going to have Herbers free. This to me seems like the much better option. It seems like the much higher percentage chance of a goal rather than what Herbers actually did. Which, you know what? Herbers had a very good moment. As a whole, I don't know if he had that good of a game, but he had a very good moment. He had one amazing moment, and we're gonna let him have that. We're gonna allow him to have his moment there, and that's gonna take us to halftime, which Fire go into halftime with a lead. The big thing to me was that DC was leading possession into the half. Previously, the Fire have led opposing teams massively in possession, but this time the Fire have a goal despite losing the possession battle by about 4%. I think it was DC had 54%, Fire had 46. I think that's how numbers work. Let me just get some more hot chocolate here. I think VC face might have forgotten what my face looks like. You're seeing my desktop a couple of times. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so we go into the second half now. Just roll on in. So yeah, the first thing is that Gaston was still out there. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I didn't even mention. Gaston has to come off at half. So you have a good excuse because he got booked in the first half. He's the only player to get booked in the first half. You can say that he had the hockey assist in, or at least like, yeah, I wouldn't even call that the hockey assist because it was an extra pass, but like he had the pass that created the attack for the first goal. And there's going to be a few other things that I'm going to have to mention later on about his play later in the game. And then we're going to go into like the actual like metrics and probably see like, oh, he's leading the team in this metric. There's so much wrong with Gaston and the way he goes about the game that, to me, I don't think that anything matters with the way that we talk about Gaston. So, let me just... Okay. So, I was talking about Gaston, wasn't I? I keep getting... I'm trying to juggle a couple of different things at the moment while trying to do this. But you can't have Gaston. That's the main thing. Yeah, he was standing around during the most important parts of the match. He got booked. I don't think you want to keep him out there, especially when you have Fede Navarro on the bench, and Fede Navarro has looked good. And whenever we've sent out Fede Navarro, he's looked good. So here we got Gaga. I believe this is about the time. Yep, okay, this is it. I was called down to grab dinner, and I missed this, and I just walk over, and I see Gaga in the nets, looking like he was grabbing it at his head. Apparently it wasn't. It was his ankle, and you see, that doesn't look good. Yeah. I won't... His ankle went in a bad direction. But he did stay out there. It looked like they were about to warm up Spencer Ritchie, but he did not come out there. And then, of course, Brendan Hines-Ike smashed his face against the goalpost. But we care less about facial injuries and head injuries, apparently. Apparently he did a whole lot better. And then also there's another DC United player down, but we didn't care about him. He didn't get the note. So, oh god, so this is funny because this has jumped all the way into the 80th minute. And now on my notes, I have nothing from the 49th minute to the 80th minute. I just have, a lot happened in this time, but there's nothing new. Gaston still needs to come off. Gaga's getting a bit exposed, especially since he was injured. From that 49th minute on, he's playing on an injured left ankle, and Goody made it onto the pitch, which, I'm starting to have lower and lower opinions of Goody, but he's been okay. Which is a good thing you can say for a young player. He's been okay, especially a young player coming off the bench. They did not bring on Duran, so he could not continue his yellow card streak, which is disappointing. 80th minute now. We're gonna see. Is it around here? No. So DC United started just like aiming for shins. Like they just really just went at Shaq's shins. They went after basically anybody who got the ball for the Fire. Just had the, like, they were high kicks from DC United players. They were not going for the ball. It did not look like they were going for the ball. Trying to be scrappy. So we got, who is this on this wing here? I don't think it's Ivanov. I think it's Sekulic, yeah. Sekulic with a quick overlap here. Puts it into the box. And we're going to have Gaston here. I don't know what to think of Gaston in this situation because he did a good thing. He popped it up. I don't think he noticed that anybody was behind him. Let me just check if he actually looked. Okay. There it is. He takes a quick glance. Sees he's got a friend to the left. He just sort of pops it up. And by God, look at this guy. This man is 37 years old. He is old enough to be president. This guy... Woo! This thing went through everything. This shot went through everything. Went between the legs... between Hamid's hand and his leg, and it's like inches away from going between this guy's legs. This is a shot. Just, whew. That is a shot. And I want you to notice, just like, where's the rest of the DC defense here? That is the thing. So we got, I gotta move this over then, don't I? There we go. Where's the rest of this defense? So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players back here that are all past that midway line. And I know this is going to sound a bit detrimental to the NWSL, but I will say that I've followed the NWSL long enough to know when I make a joke about the NWSL, like about its officiating, I have experience and knowledge in making this joke. This is what I call NWSL width, because there's a lot of times where you're watching a game and it just seems like the entire team is onto one side of the pitch. DC United sent their entire squad to one side of the pitch. This is 7 players, and then there's no one to this side. And who is onto this side? Bornstein. He just pops in out of the picture. You got to remember to cover this area. This isn't about the Fire anymore. This is about DC. You got to remember to cover this area because he's got so much space here. So much space. And the moment that this guy doesn't pay attention to his surroundings is the moment that this is over. Like, he's got a chance to make a play, but it goes between his legs. He's barely got a chance to make that play. And, I mean, the only reason why I didn't was because, you know, Bornstein somehow just, like, de-aged about, like, 17 years or something and made that shot. Like, that was terrible defensive work from DC. And the Fire are winning this game 2-0. And mind you, they're on the road, which I don't know if I have this all pulled up, but like the Fire have the worst history on the road in recent years in MLS. So you add that on, and it's just, you don't want to have that going on. Look at this. Look at this. Oh God, this is even worse. Let's just move this over now. All of these guys are up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. One side of the pitch. On one side of the pitch. And then we got our lone buddy here, Bornstein. And nobody comes down to defend it. All of them are pushing upwards, in fact. I mean, yes, the camera moves down, but like, he's walking this way. He's walking diagonally. He's moving up. And then the only moment that they realize he's here is the moment that the ball goes over everyone's heads. Give me a bigger eraser. Gosh, ding, dang, darn. The moment that the ball gets over everyone's heads, that's the moment that they see him, because they don't notice the entire time before. And then he just like, that's just a beautiful finish, isn't it? Just a beautiful finish. I think we're getting very close to the end of this match here. I hope that they have this other Gaga save. Yes, they do. Gaga punches away a dangerous free kick. They're going to call this... People are calling this a double save for Gaga, but I don't think he actually was able to get up after that. I think he had to pick a head. So this first one, good punch. He does not save that. This doesn't go off of him. That goes off of Shihos. Shihos has to kick that away. That's not a double save by one player. That is a team double save. This saves the clean sheet. Gaga is playing on one foot at the moment there. He doesn't want to get up and risk that foot. And so we got a kick away from Shihos. And then it's out. And I think that the man of the match has to be Shihos. Okay, yeah, that's definitely off of Shihos' foot. Man of the match has to be Shihos, because he has done so amazing, and I think that he's player. I mean, you can say it like, you know, Shaqiri is such a wonderful player, like he's changing the attack in some good ways, and yeah, he is. But Shihos is the one who's actually like had to do things and had to like make real effect on the game. Shaqiri is a good player, but Shihos is the guy who's had to actually do something. Shaqiri is struggling with the guys that he's got available to him on the attack. Meanwhile, defense is just something that has been solid the entire game, and Shihos has had to, like, you know, cover for Navarro, cover for Sekulic when he's not done well, and, you know, cover for Amsberg, because I like Amsberg, but, you know, he's not perfect. He's not an actually, like, you know, starting level defender. He's just a good backup. I'm not gonna drink cold hot chocolate. Gosh darn it. It'd be cold chocolate. No, it'd just be liquid chocolate. That doesn't sound like a good time. Anyway, we're moving on to 87th minute. I believe I know what this one is. This was just like an incredibly casual header from Sekulic. No. Did I hit? No, I didn't hit putt. Okay. Just like an incredibly casual header that for some reason Hamid just bobbles it. Like, that almost turns into something. Usually when it's something like this, it's like, yeah, this shot doesn't matter. But like, look at the way that Hamid just like almost gives that up. I like Bill Hamid. He's a good goalkeeper, and I felt like he should have been like MLS #1 for a long time. And then, you know, other goalkeepers showed up because, you know, America is the land of goalkeepers. But yeah, what is this? Oh, I didn't even have this one written in. What is this one? I don't think anything happened here. Yeah. Oh, this was it. So that was weird. I don't know. That wasn't going to sneak in anytime soon. That's a bit... Where did that ball come from? Where did that ball come from? Why was that ball in the side netting? I want... This is an analysis. Look at this. What is this ball doing here? It's just sort of there. And then it pops out of the side netting. He takes the shot. And then suddenly there's another ball. Where does it come from? Oh, is another thing? I don't remember this. Yeah, whatever. That's Shaqiri trying another shot. We have a lot of those late in games nowadays, where it's just, yeah, I'm just going to try something and see if it works. And that's it for the game. Wait, no. Oh, wait, yeah, this was the final chance, I believe, for like something interesting to happen. Oh, you're still there. Go away. This was a great chance for Goody. Look at this. He's got good space, opens up for him. He pauses. He's got this space open, but it's closing very fast. He's got a friend here. He should be able to hear him, right? He's probably yelling for like, hey, buddy, I'm over here. At this point, you should not be looking for a shot. They have walled up the area. You should be looking at least for, even if it's not to pass to a teammate, which there's clearly a teammate over here, even if it's not to pass to a teammate, you should be looking for a place to run because you're not getting through here. You're not shooting through here. You're not running through here. This is a wall now. This is sealed off. You cannot move through this area. Look for this spot. Okay. Once again, I've done the thing where I'm clicking instead of using my pen here. But like, this area has been sealed off. If you are this guy, you look for a place to run, maybe this way, or you look to run over here. I mean, I would prefer to cut on the inside, but it is a two goal lead, so you should look towards going to the corner. Oh, or you look to pass here, because this guy's right here. And instead he just shoots, which is not what you want to do in that situation, which it's not something that you should tell players to do in that situation. And then, game ends, whatever. But that's the sort of thing of just being like, Goody, I want him to work out again, but I'm not sure at this point. So we have the final stuff here. And we have Gaston with a 7.5. Do they have him in at the match yet? I think it takes them a while. Yep, there we go. Good. It has She Hosts as man of the match. They gave Gaston an 8.2. Why? Okay, we're gonna do some digging here, so we can get into my thing about Gaston, because there was this thing last season, and I mean technically it went into the season before, but with Baric, with how Baric would start scoring goals late into the season when it didn't matter anymore, when we no longer had a chance for anything, he started scoring, and this season we have Gaston, who is somehow leading in certain metrics, I think. He's got second most touch, I guess third most. Dear God, why does Miguel Navarro touch the ball that much? He has the third most touches on the team right now, or at least in this game. Thank God he didn't take a single shot, because his shots are terrible. He was tied for the most tackles in the game, successful tackles for the Fire, and in the game, I guess. He had the most interceptions for the Fire, and highest tackle success was not dribbled. Let's look over here now. Dribbles attempted, dribbles won. Tied for the most dribbles won for the Fire. So 100% success, apparently. Technically speaking, he looks pretty dang great. Key passes. He's got 2 key passes. 33 accurate passes. 49 total passes. It's 67% pass completion. 49 passes is second on the team. So here's the thing about that. He's doing a lot of this when nothing is happening. Like in that big stretch of time that I said between the 49th minute and between the 49th and the 80th minute, where I actually said nothing happened here. Gaston actually did improve, especially when they put Fede Navarro next to him. But the thing is that by that point, the Fire were leading 1-0. He was no longer truly needed at that time. And it really annoys me to hear about a player who does well at a specific time, but not when they're needed, not when he's called upon. When he is being called upon, he's not doing anything. He's not doing enough when he's being called upon. And instead, he's doing nothing when he's being called upon. Especially in that one that I showed you, and I showed you last week with the Orlando stuff, with him just standing around. You can't just keep putting him out there and expecting him to do good things during the right times when he's clearly not doing good things during the right times. he can have like so many good metrics. As I said, you know, it's this whole thing of like sabermetrics isn't exactly meant for soccer. I've never seen a number kick a ball, you know, like that sort of thing. So it's just, he may have all these great metrics, but you look at him play and you do not see a good player. You should not see a good player. It's annoying to see him constantly be run out there when he's not good enough. And that's the main thing with this team. I think I said in the middle of the game that this is a game between a team that does not have a midfield versus a team that only has a midfield. DC United only had a midfield in this game. You look at everything here. Their best players are their midfielders. You got Julian Gressel here as a wingback. I mean, technically these are wingbacks, but it's midfielders. And some of their best players on this game were in the midfield. You got their top-rated players, Jeffel, or whatever you call that guy, Sofiane Jeffal. So you got these guys who are doing pretty good. Their attack sucked. Their defense wasn't good. It didn't suck terribly, but it wasn't good, especially on that last that goal for that goal for Bornstein. It was obviously not good. And so they only had a midfield. The Fire don't have a midfield. And that's what you get. You get a really weird, boring game because you're going to get some things that happen, and then you're going to get some things that don't happen. You're not going to have good build-up play if you don't have good midfield. That sounded weird, but trust me on that one. You're not going to have good build-up play if you don't have a good midfield. Pineda is a defensive player. Gaston is not a good player. And then when you bring in Fede Navarro, he's a defensive player. Obviously, he's shown the ability to at least make a few good passes, but he is a defensive player. He is your anchor man. He is your, he is the guy that you got back there who is cleaning up. He's the destroyer. You need neither of these players, I trust, to be able to help the attack. And especially when you have Shaqiri moving out to the wing, and we're gonna check the heat map in a second. When you have Shaqiri moving out into the wing so many times, you don't want to have midfielders that are not comfortable in the attack. And Gaston may pretend to be comfortable, but it looks like he's a bit too comfortable with the fact that he's just standing around and walking, We had this issue last year with Calvo, So I don't like this. I don't like that at all. I just want to point out the XG. I just noticed this, that the Fire had a 1.6 XG, DC had 1.3, which is a bit of comeuppance for DC, who won their previous couple games without having too much XG, and other teams had more XG than them despite losing to them. So yeah, this is XG karma. So yeah, that's fun. Anyway, we'll move on to heat maps. So let's find out, where was Shaqiri? Obviously you want him in the center of the pitch, don't you? But at least he evens it out, I guess. He was more on the left. He was a bit more on the left side, so you can't say he's not trying. This is the area that you kind of want to have your attacking midfielder be in, this area right here. And this is where he's not. He moves to the sides too much. And so let's just see where Gaston was. Okay, Gaston was more towards this area of the center of the park, which is where he's, playing. Pineda on the other side of that, and you see Pineda is a bit further back. You got Gaston pushing up, and Pineda a bit further back. And that's what you kind of expect out of, if you just take the two of their names, you'd expect Pineda to be a bit further back, Gaston to be a bit further forward, because that's just the way that they're supposed to play. That's what they tell you they're supposed to play as. And, it's what they do. I just want to see Omsberg. Good old Omsberg does his job. And Shihos, oh god, look at this. Okay, see, it's there. Shihos with an incredible amount of just he has a lot of ground he's got to cover there. He looked great in this game. I really liked him, and I've liked him the entire season so far. I think he's done great, except for the one oopsie in the Miami game. Let's check Sabishko. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he supposed to be? Let's just check where Ola Kamara stays. Yep, see, this is what a striker is supposed to look like. Once again, this is a striker. This is Shabishko. We're getting a bit late on, so that means I start coughing. But that's the difference here. You know, you've got a striker here who plays in the attack, and you've got Shibishko who he's in the attack a bit, but then also he's somehow in like the defensive midfield. I don't know what he's doing back here. This is, you know, it's not just about like where he is physically, but it's like you have a blotch there if you have a touch. He has a touch in his own box. He has a touch in his own box, and I think he's only got one touch in an opposing box. So you just don't want that from your striker. He's not playing like a striker, and we need him to play like a striker. Look at this. He's playing. He looks like the right back. He looks like he's playing as a right back. Herbert's doing his job. Ivanov sticking to his side. You know, people doing their jobs. Navarro had too many touches. I don't like that. Then Sekulic. Oh yes, you see this is a right back. I tell you what. And yep, there's Gaga. Obviously, that's a very obvious thing. Okay, that's weird. I guess that was like from an offside free kick or something. Let's just check the chalkboard just because. I'll check this again to just show off. Yeah, this is possession, final possession numbers. Yeah, they had the advantage by 5%. I wouldn't disagree with that, and honestly, I think that that's kind of a good thing at this point. Maybe the Fire just take better chances when they know that they have less. When the Fire have too many chances, they don't use them. Let's see the away passing map. Oh, God, this is disorganized, I tell you what. Yeah, Amsberg here. I don't like this. Shaqiri is further forward than Shibishko. He's further forward than Shibishko. There's a certain thing that you can do in Football Manager where it's like average position. And I think that this is what that's showing. But I would love to have that like on a bigger scale, and also like, you know, have that for the past couple of games without having to wait like 2 hours for this thing to load. I had to load this earlier in order for this to actually show up for me. But yeah, Shibishko is listed as a midfielder and is playing further ahead as a striker. Actually, let me go back to this and let's just check the heat map here. Let's just compare this. So this is Shibishko, and then this is Shaqiri. Honestly, Shaqiri is playing more like a striker. I don't like that. I want Duran starting at striker this next game. It's not that Shibishko has, like, you know, been terrible. He hasn't done enough. I mean, he hasn't done enough. That's the thing. He hasn't done enough. It's not that he's terrible. It's just that he hasn't done enough. And you know what? If we want him to be a starting striker, he needs to show something. He needs to prove himself in this type of thing. You know? I don't know what I'm looking for here. Let's just look for let's just look for where's all of Gaston's touches. Let's just look for Gaston's touches. Yep, see right here. Actually, wait a second. If we can pinpoint. So he's got 2 touches in the opposing box, and he's got 1 touch in the Fire's box. Why? Why Shibishko? I don't like this. Okay, so I guess that's gonna be it for here. I guess my final notes are, let's see, put them over here. Big final notes is we just won a game on the road. Let's not forget this. We had a good game for once. We actually played well. I liked the way that we looked in terms of, you know, defensively. We did the right thing. In the attack, we did what we needed to do. We didn't look stupid. And the issue is that, I think honestly the biggest issue isn't that we still have Gaston. That's just an issue that we're just gonna have to deal with because we just have to deal with it. But the biggest issue may be that Gaga might have an injury. I haven't seen anything. Obviously, this is going up in the morning, or at least it's going up the moment that this is like all like rendered and everything. Gaga might have an injury, and that's going to be incredibly concerning if that actually comes to pass, that he has an injury. and we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it's good news. It could just be one of those things where, like, you twist your ankle and it's gonna hurt for like the next hour and a half. And obviously, if you're finishing off a soccer game, it's gonna hurt. But he's a goalkeeper, so he doesn't have to run around very much. Although he did have to, because that's just how this team works, apparently. He doesn't have he might not have a serious injury, and that's going to be a very hopeful thing, hoping that he doesn't have a serious injury. But we'll see what happens there. And then also Gaston and Shabishko, I don't want them starting again. I just don't want them starting again. And honestly, I might not want Navarro starting again. I think that we should have Bornstein start over Navarro this next game. So who is that next game against? I haven't even checked. I have my... I'm going to check my phone then. I could get up to go check my calendar, but I also have my phone in front of me. They have got Sporting Kansas City in this next game, and that's going to be at home. So that means that this video will not come out in a timely manner after that game. But I hope that guy will be available. But I think that I want Shabishko starting on the bench. I want Duran starting in the attack. I want Herbers at the 10, and I want Shaqiri out in the wing. And start Bornstein over Navarro, and start Fede over Gaston. And we'll see what happens there. That's the thing that I want us to get another central midfielder. I want us to get another winger and another central midfielder so that we have better depth on the wings and we have, an actual midfielder. I want us to call up Victor Bazira. I really want us to call up Victor Bazira because I think that he has that sort of like ability to make something happen in the attack. And obviously, he's a young player. He's college doesn't translate all the time, but he scored goals for Indiana. He was a Mac Hermann Trophy finalist, and I'm apparently one of the few people that actually like take stock in a Mac Hermann Trophy finalist. So I'll just say that, I think that Victor Bazira should be involved, but he's probably not. So whatever. That's it. I still don't have a fun ending for this. Whatever. You know what? You know what? I don't have anything. I'm sorry.